What is going on, fight fans? And we are talking Rose versus Paige, and that was the main card. That was the main card. Both very young fighters. Paige, an up and comer, really just turning heads. Rose, watching her from the Ultimate Fighter days, is definitely a beast. She made it all the way to the finale. Of course, she lost to Carla, but Paige is an up and comer who's really just turning heads. This is her true test against Rose, and Rose, she's I haven't seen her fight in quite a while. I think the last time I saw her fight was in the finale. Rose is like 23, Paige is like 21, and both of them have such great potential down the line. They're not having even reached their prime, so this is an interesting fight. This is future fights bound to happen in the future. So what we have here, though, was a great card. This fight night was a great way to kick off the next fight night tomorrow, and then the main event, McGregor versus Aldo. But excuse me if I butcher the names, because I'm not very good and I don't practice this shit. We had Thiago Santos versus Elias Theodore, and this fight was really good. This is the first fight to really kick off all the main events, or all the prime cards that were on this. It's not the preliminaries, it's the main cards. And this fight was fantastic, man. Elias, I thought, man, his fighting, his unorthodox he used his kicks very well in the first round. He established the fight early on. He was aggressive. He threw a lot of kicks, but Thiago was right there with him. But I guess he really was as precise as Elias. Elias even landed a great front kick right into the body that knocked down Thiago in the first round. Totally changed in the second and third round, where Thiago, man, this guy is, don't let him clinch up with you. If you're going to go for the takedown, you better get that takedown right away, because what Thiago did perfectly in that fight was he utilized the elbows, the knees. He hurt Elias. He hurt him bad. It was just a crazy thing to watch how much power in all three rounds Thiago had. Second and third, you could tell Elias was getting hurt. He got cut with these vicious elbows. It looked like somebody took a chunk out of his eye. Right here in the top of his eye. It was absolutely beautiful with Thiago, and I had him winning those 2 rounds. And he did get a takedown in the end of the second round, but it was great. Elias had a lot of heart in these cards, a lot of heart tonight, and Elias did show a lot of heart as he took down Thiago as well. I think Elias barely lost that second round. I think that's what did him over, was the second round. Thiago really the judges were looking at Elias really trying to take Thiago down, but Thiago's vicious punch, his just dirty kind of boxing, so to speak, his freaking heavy shots really hurt Elias very, very much. And Elias, I don't know how he survived it, but he barely survived at third round as well. He was really, really hurt at one point. So great fight. Thiago Santos did win the fight. I had him get those 2 rounds. I had him winning that one. So we had Sage Northcutt versus Cody P. Fister. And I was laughing my ass off because, sorry, but his name's Cody the Fist Fister. Cody the Fist Fister. That's kind of funny. So it was an interesting fight, man. Both were very energetic. Both were very, into it. The first round, you saw round game. We saw really Sage take over. He seemed like he was a more conditioned, and he seemed like he was more technique of the two. But Cody was, it was right in the get-go. They were held tight, for a good shit. It felt like a minute and a half, where they were just really held tight in the ground, and nobody was getting any dominant position. But in the second round, boy, did Sage, man. Was able to get the headlock and really just got the guillotine. He got the guillotine, and Sage ended up winning that fight. It was a pretty good. It was a good ground game from Sage, and it was good. Both of them were really just still active in that second round, but Cody just got caught, and Sage ended up winning that fight. So that was not too bad of a fight as well. Now, Michael Chiesa versus Jim Miller. I didn't really watch too much because my link kind of was fell through, so I didn't watch too much, but I saw the ending of it, and I believe it was I just poked my nose. It takes Miller's back. A few more punches, unable to lace up. Yeah, I think it was Miller. Yeah, Miller lost. I think Chisa won or whatever. Like I said, I barely caught the ending of that fight. It looked like it was a very interesting fight because one of Chisa, I think, got the. Was it Chisa? Yeah, it was Michael. It was Michael and Jim, and Michael able to get the submission over Jim, and that was a pretty sweet submission because he hurt him with what Michael did. He was on top of him and he hurt him with a lot of these strikes to the head, and then he was able to kind of get that little opening from Jim, and he got the rear naked choke, and that was pretty good. But the main event was definitely Rose Namajunas versus Paige VanZant. Pretty sure I said the last name wrong. But, oh my God. Okay. See, I don't even need notes on this one. Because this fight was actually this is all Rose. Rose, if you look at it, it was an ass whooping. Rose gave Paige an ass whooping. That doesn't necessarily mean that Paige didn't fight hard. What heart this woman had. So many times during the rounds, I thought she was going to get caught. I thought she was going to get choked out. I thought she was going to get armbarred. But no, like somehow she got out of it. She did great transitions. I mean, she escaped amazingly. She was hurt so bad. She was bleeding all over her face. That cut really bothered her. But there's one submission. I forgot what round it was, where Rose had it. Rose had this armbar, just killer armbar. I mean, the only way Paige gets out of this is if she breaks her own arm. She twists and turns, she moves, she twists her body, and somehow she's very flexible. Her arm are double jointed, whatever. She's able to get out of this sick, awesome armbar by Rose. And then not only that, she escaped a rear naked choke that was deep, and I think there was like 15 seconds left, and she was able to get out of that. That was insane. So Rose was impressive. She dominated the strike game. She dominated the ground game. The problem with Paige, I think she was trying to take these judo takedowns, and she would land awkwardly, and Rose would take advantage of it. And then all through the fight, what I really liked about Rose was, that's right, when Paige was moving around and trying to transition and trying to move her body around, Rose was right there like white on rice. I mean, the flow Rose had on the ground was flawless. It was like water, my friends. It was really that impressive by Rose. And Rose did end up winning by rear naked choke, and she had it deep, like right in the beginning of the 5th round. There was no way Paige was going to win this fight unless she knocked Rose out. But Paige was not very impressive in the striking game. A lot of her strikes that she gave Rose did not hurt. It looked like it was just a tap, honestly. But, man, give it up to Paige. What I took out of this fight from her was she's got freaking heart. She's got heart. If she works on everything else and she comes back, and I would love to see a rematch if she comes back better, stronger, because she's barely kind of beginning. There's a lot. She can go far because she has heart. She has no quit, and I'm surprised she even tapped at the very end. I think she'd rather die in the ring. So give her that, man. She was just beasting it up with heart. But Rose is a beast, and she is a veteran. She came in there stronger than ever. It's gonna be interesting. She'll be able to make that contention for the belt. I think Rose deserves that contention for the belt. I mean, if Carla lost it, where's Rose at? A lot of these Ultimate Fighter girls in the straw hat division, they're beasts, man. My girl Randa fighting next week. Hope she makes a run for it as well, because she's a beast as well in different areas in the game. But Rose overall has the whole package, and she's looking great, and it's gonna be hard to beat her. So that's all my thoughts on tonight's UFC Fight Night. If I know I butchered some of the names, I know I kind of said a couple things a little bit off and you're a little bit confusing. Sorry about that. But yeah, the Miller fight I barely caught at the end, but I was looking forward for Rose and Paige, and it was an ass whooping. It was an ass whooping, but believe me, when Paige got out of some of those submissions, I was like, oh my God, no freaking way. No way. That was me when she got out of that armbar. That was sick. So thank you guys for listening. I am Dan Van, Daniel's son. Please hit that subscribe button for more UFC fights coverage tomorrow. I think tomorrow's Frankie Edgar and Chad Mendes gonna be a great fight. Plus we get crowned the Ultimate Fighter tomorrow. We had Artem versus Ryan Hall. Now it's Ryan Hall since all the visa situation. Then Saturday, yeah, Chris Weidman versus I forgot what Luke Holder, whatever his name is. He's supposed to be pretty beast too. So my one friend's rooting for him. He met him actually. And then we have the main event, baby. Jose Aldo versus Conor McGregor. Oh, I can't wait for that fight. So thank you guys for listening. I'll see you guys later. You guys have a good night.